Today we're talking bucket list fish, and well, it's not yet June, so I think I can still create a bucket list for 2024. Welcome to the Small Scape. If you are familiar with the channel, you do know that, well, we're in the fish gallery down the basement. My fish lounge, workshop, whatever studio you want to call it, upstairs is still, I'm still working on it. But the centerpiece tank to that workshop is going to be a 22-gallon long. So I've started looking for, you know, who are the little contestants that will be going in there, in addition to my beloved green neons that I absolutely positively have to have. My posse right behind me, it's just gonna be amazing. But there was actually a request that came in for a species profile that I'll explain in a little while, that kind of triggered this video, and hopefully you enjoy it. Now, big disclaimer, I am so sorry, but most of these fish we've never kept before. Unless, of course, Mr. Primetime comes home and after I've done the video and says, I've got footage for that, but I don't have moving footage for most of this. So you're gonna just see, you know, screenshots with some, you know, editing in there. So I do apologize for that, but let's get started. And before I show you the fish on my bucket list, let me know, are there fish on your bucket list? And any of these that I go through, have you ever kept them? If you have, give me whatever tips that you can. If you know, do you recommend them, don't recommend them, other replacements that you would suggest instead. But let's get to the video. Fish number one is actually the inspiration for this whole video. This is the Toucan Tetra, otherwise known as the Toucan Tetra, and it's the inspiration for this video because a request came in to Mr. Primetime to do a species profile on this fish, because the person did not know there weren't any really videos on this fish. And once I looked it up, I was so intrigued. It has a cute little name, and it's a tetra. I love tetras, so I had to look it up. And what a cutie. This fish only gets to about 1.5 inches, and it's a shy little tetra. It comes from Brazil and Colombia, and it does prefer kind of more acidic water, which is something that I would have to kind of work on to get those water qualities in because we have hard water here. So I would definitely, that would be an extra step that I would have to take to keep these fish. But I found that they are so cute, and they do kind of like a lot of that leaf litter, kind of black water sort of aquarium, which I do like that kind of a style. And as I'm thinking of, you know, kind of starting up my aquariums upstairs in the lounge that you've not yet seen, this is a possibility if I do want to do the extra work and kind of give them some more acidic water. But they're kind of like any other little tetras. Keep them in a group, and they do tend to be kind of shy, so definitely want to keep that in mind and keep them away from other fish that might kind of pick on them. But I don't know, have you ever seen these before? Have you kept them? Are you familiar at all with them? I've seen very little information on them, and I can't say as I know anybody who's ever had these, but I just love the bold kind of black stripe down the body, and they seem to have really big eyes. Is it just me, or do they have really big eyes, which makes them extra cute? And of course, you know, right on top of it, little like red rosy cheeks. How cute. Fish number two on my bucket list is the longfin neon. Now, you know I love neons, and my favorite is the green neon. But these, when I first saw this on I think it was like a kind of like an email from Flip Aquatics. I am on the email list, and that's usually where I see all these great fish pop up. But all the rest, as an FYI, all of the rest of the fish on my list are from Flip Aquatics, and they are a channel sponsor. But what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to scape and create my brand new tanks for my lounge upstairs, and one of them is going to be a 22, and I know of course it will have my favorite fish in there, and that would be the green neon. But I am considering having maybe another kind of neon in there, and this is a very close contender. It very well may be this fish or the diamondite tetra. Both beautiful choices, but look at the long fins on here. I may have to do it. Obviously this wouldn't be a good choice for tanks that have bettas. Other neons would be a better choice. With the long fins here, not a good choice. But I mean, seriously, some part of me just really needs to see them in person. And let me know if you've ever kept them. And when you are adding or considering adding fish to an aquarium, it's always helpful, especially if you're going to buy them online, like at Flip Aquatics, because each type of fish comes with a very good description. It's going to give you the water parameters that the fish are currently kept at, do well at, and then also some additional information that you might need to know, like what kinds of things does it need. Do the fish really like heavily planted? Do they like leaf litter, botanicals, all that sort of thing? But a lot of information is on the website, which is very helpful, especially if it's a new fish that you haven't kept before. Number 3 is, well, you might be surprised because I typically do not talk about endlers and guppies. They're just not too much on my radar. However, pond season's kind of here. It's around the corner, and I do like to create mini ponds. So I've really been wanting maybe a small little group of guppies. Now, I've always loved the green cobra guppies, which, I mean, seriously, any of these guppies, I mean, really, how can you beat them? However, the one that will definitely go on the bucket list would be these. And this is the Dumbo Ear Mosaic Guppy. I mean, look at that male. Obviously, the females will not look like that. Of course, I just don't think that I would want to keep females and males together because, in no time, in probably a day or two, you're going to have like a bunch of them. They do breed very prolifically along with the endlers, so keep that in mind if you're going to keep males and females together. But the colors on the males are just stunning. And for a pondscape, really, how can you beat them? Between any kind of a guppy or an endler or a rice fish, just looking down into the water of a little pondscape, so amazing. But I'm afraid to say that a guppy has wound up on my bucket list. Now, if I'm going to look at guppies, I think I should definitely look at endlers. I have always liked endlers because their little faces are just so cute. I just love the shape of the body slightly more than the guppies. I don't know what it is, maybe the ratio of eyeball to body or something like that. But this one caught my eye. It is called the Blue Star Guppy. And I am a sucker for red, white, and blue. So if there's a red, white, and blue on a fish, kind of sign me up. It goes along with baseball teams and sports teams as well. I just love the red, white, and blue. And if we're talking a summer little pond, I think it would kind of be a natural to get a little group of these. How adorable. I know endlers they can jump, so you want to keep that in mind. But if it's like a pondscape and you're keeping the water level down, then that'll definitely assist in that. But it's been a while since I've kept endlers, and I think it might be about time to kind of look into them again. Yes, can you believe it? Another endler is on the list. I actually can't believe it myself. It's the Bleeding Heart endler. And with those colors, I do like I showed you in the Toucan Tetra, I love the really bold black line from the front of the body to the back. And then, any kind of like a orange, it's got some green kind of coloring. Really pretty. I think he's made the list. Now here is a very economical little fish. But you know what? I've seen it for quite some time, number of years, but it always catches my eye because of the name. It's the Green Fire Tetra. I mean, how cool is that for a name? It really reminds me of kind of like a slightly larger green kubatai mixed with like a chili rasbora, something like that. I know it's a tetra and all, but that when I look at it, it just kind of reminds me of it, like a little mixture of that. And something in me just really wants to keep a little group of these, see how they do. I know it would be a little bit more difficult to see if you do have a lot of bright green or light green foliage, a lot of live plants in your aquarium. I would probably go with darker darker plants, you know, like buces and darker crypts, just so you could probably see it a little bit better. That's just me though, but really a beautiful fish. Now the last fish on my bucket list is a fish that I believe I've kept before, and this is the Everglades pygmy sunfish. Oh, something about this little guy. I remember when we had them, and they were pretty shy. I believe we had 2 or 3 in a little tank, and actually, you know, really kind of barely saw them. We really barely saw them, that would be the biggest negative for me. But it reminds me of a baddis, like the scarlet baddis, like just that shape of the body, and they're just so cute. This one's so colorful, and it just kind of reminds me of like little pea puffers and baddis that kind of stay kind of towards the bottom and just poke around, and they're just fun to watch. And I really think it's time that I kept them again, and it's a serious consideration. I think they also do require slightly acidic water, which is, you know, I'd probably have to supplement and do something about that with our hard water here. But yeah, that is my list of the 7 new fish that have made my bucket list for 2024, and we'll see what I can do with the so far I'm kind of calling it the lounge. We'll see. I'd like to debut it very soon, but there's always something popping up, piles of stuff that I have to find homes for. But pretty soon you'll get to meet the tanks that I will be scaping. Very excited to show you and kind of take you for a little tour around. And there you go. So let me know, have you kept any of this fish, and what's on your bucket list? What fish are you looking for? Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.